Alright, Rockstars, it's gonna be an exciting day here in Scape and Run Parasites. So what are we doing today that's gonna make today so exciting? Well, we're finally gonna dive into Thaumcraft, which is not something I'm particularly super excited for, but I am something really worried about actually getting into it. Why am I really worried about getting into it? Well, like I've been told, it's more of a magic technical mod pack, and there's just so much little things to get into things going. So we've attempted to start this before, and we've crafted arcane workbench and stuff like that in previous episodes, but we didn't get past like the arcane workbench, so we've got to redo that, and I'm just gonna make as much progress as we can towards automated bows. So the first step is collecting as many and different versions of these straight up crystals as possible, but we need a ton of these, and we need a bunch of different versions of them, but we just gotta walk through the mines, and we should find them without too many issues. Oh my god, there's tainted blocks all the way down here. That is not scary or creepy at all. That's not, no. Okay, well, we have 4 different types of crystals. We need at least 3 different types, and I know we need a bunch of them overall, so I'm gonna collect as many as possible, and then we'll go back to making the arcane workbench and trying to do that all over again. Alright, so I think we're gonna put Thaumcraft down here with our Tinker's Construct stuff because we need space for it. Alright, so we're gonna put a bunch of the crystals in here because I need some inventory space. So first off, I know we need a couple like workbenches type things, so we're gonna go ahead and make a crafting table. I think there's a regular table you need to make with slabs like this. Nope, that is not how you make it. That's how you make it, a wood table. It's the exact same thing, it's just not as tall. It's only 1 block high. Alright, so let's go ahead and put these down in this corner over here. Alright, so now that we grab the crystals, something I think we absolutely do need to remember though is a non-specific recipe for crafting. So we should just be able to throw flint, redstone, and a bowl, if I remember correctly, with any type of ingots and multiple of them. So we're gonna go ahead and put 3 of these crystals in here, and we're gonna get 3 salamundus. Let's go ahead and grab the 3 salamundus. Now, if I remember correctly, we should be able to just right-click a crafting table, and that should change it to what we need it. Yes, that gives us the arcane work table. Now, I know I need a scribbing quill. I think it's what it's called. I have to craft one of those, but I also need a lot of paper, and I think I also need, I remember bookshelves for some reason being very important. So we're gonna grab a couple of those as well, just to be sure. Scribing tools, that's what they're called. And scribing tools are really easy. We need either glass vials or black glass or empty glass bottles with ink sacks and dye and feathers. And that gives us scribing tools. Let's go ahead and I guess we can just make, oh, they do not stack whatsoever. All right, so with this Salamundus, I think I can also right click on, yep, it should change this good old bookshelf into, yes. Do I remember exactly what this is? The Thaumanomicon? No, but I know it's progress. Okay, so this gives us our tree of everything. All right, so let's go ahead and press complete because we've made the arcane workbench. So next up, the observation fundamentals. Okay, so yeah, because we need a thermometer, which is a glass pane and gold ingots inside the arcane bench. That's no big deal. All right, so now we actually have an EMC table down here. I'm not going to run up and down stairs every single second that I need to. Let's go ahead and make those glass panes that we need. Perfect. So now we can go to these guys in the workbench. I'm pretty sure it was just this with the glass panes in the middle. Okay, well, I thought we just need crystals to make this work, but that seems not to be working unless I need all the crystals. I'm only missing one set. Is that a white crystal type? Maybe I should actually read this instead of just going off what I remember in the very brief tutorial I rewatched. All right, so it seems I have everything but the Ordo Visus crystal because I think you need one of each of these, so I need to go back down to the mines and get more crystals, and I think that's what we're missing overall. Okay, so yeah, we just needed the crystal, so now we have the thermometer, which should let us scan basically anything and everything. Oh, we can actually we gotta scan stuff in our inventory. That's one thing I should not forget, is I should just scan everything in the inventory right now, since each time we scan something, we learn something, so we just want to scan as much as possible. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and scan basically anything that we can find that we have at our house, or basically whatever. Okay, so we've created both items, we've scanned a bunch of things. Let's press complete, and that gives us that completion. All right, so now we can get into discovering alchemy, observation alchemy, and observation fundamentals. Apparently we've completed that, so let's complete that as well. I'm assuming that's just a bunch of scannery stuff. So next up is a crucible. Now I do know that these are a bit iffy, and this is how you can start up taint at a very basic level, which I do not want to deal with. We already have 1 infection. All right, so to get a crucible, it should be just a cauldron plus some more salamundus, which is just iron. So if we put the cauldron here and we take a little bit of salamundus, and I think that turns us into the crucible. And I think there's supposed to be fire under it, but we can work on that later. So there we go. We've got our crucible. We can go ahead and complete that as well. Boom, perfect. So now we can move on to, yeah, yellow nitor is what's supposed to be better than actual flames themselves, but I want to make sure we just unlock as much as possible. So, we already have this complete. Let's go ahead and complete that as well. So that leads us to a caster's gauntlet and a vis resiner. Vis resiner is an iron plate in quartz. That's no big deal whatsoever, and we have all the crystals, so we should be fine. Then we need another thermometer. Yeah, it's just like a slab or something would be. So boom, that goes with that. All right, so nether quartz plus those plates, and that gives us the vis resonator. Perfect. And I believe we have everything we need. So I think the thermometer heater with a Viz resonator like that. We put the little bit of leather on the side and the iron on top, and beautiful, the Gauntlet, which we barely have enough Viz for, but we have enough. Our goal is to make the yellow Nator, which we should be able to put under the crucible instead of regular fire overall. Okay, I don't know how many times it's gonna be in the video, but let's try this again. And we light this with fire. We go ahead and we also need to fill this with water. All right, so next up we toss the coal in there. We toss some torches in there as well. That gets all absorbed. And next up we toss the glowstone in there, and that didn't give me the nitro. That's supposed to give me the yellow nitro thing. Oh, there we go. I threw another piece of glowstone in there, and now we got the yellow nitro. Now if I get rid of this and I place this here, this should be the crucible heater from now on. So we have that. That was stupid. All right, so next we need to make an alchemical metallurgy, which is just basically a brass recipe ingot. All right, so it's not just an iron ingot apparently. So I'm looking for a specific material which has a specific magic something, but I know it's a stone shovel because that's what the guy used in the example. So if we throw a stone shovel in there with an iron ingot, and boom, that gives us the alchemical brass ingot that we were looking for, which gives us this complete, which allows us to actually unlock discovering artifice, which we can now complete as well because apparently we've already done the steps to that for whatever reason, which gives us the golemancy, which we just need to study an animated construct with something like an iron golem or a snow golem, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, will both be extremely easy defenses to add to straight up our base. How have we not straight up thought of straight up just adding snow golems and iron golems as part of our base overall? Like how have we not thought of that? All right, so we've completed that, which gives us the basis of everything we've done on the very front page. Now artifice is what we were looking for because this is how we get to the automated crossbow. Okay, so we've done a lot of magic today, but I want to make sure we can get a caster's gauntlet to actually work and be some type of weapon, because that's apparently its point, if I'm understanding correctly. So I made a blanker less focus, so because of that we can now make a focal manipulator, which has to be examined by fire very closely first before we can make it. Now the fire part's really easy. We just have to basically light ourselves on fire without dying, and this should, yep, you have felt the touch of the flame. Perfect. Okay, we can throw the flint and steel away, and now you can see examine fire closely is completely done, so we should be able to craft the focal manipulator. We have everything for it. Okay, focal manipulator, auto craft, and 96, there's available Viz. We literally just have to wait for the Viz to go up, but there we go. We have a focal manipulator. So I believe this is what's going to allow us to cast certain things to the gauntlet. Now I believe we put the blank lesser focus in here. Okay, once we hit complete on the book where we made the actual table itself, now we have access to touch, which allows you to affect things you can touch roughly 4 blocks out of origin, and fire, which can, directly hurt things. Now if I understand correctly, the eye is us, and that leads to what we're doing next. So what we're doing next is touch, which allows us to actually be able to touch certain things and actually affect them. Next up would be fire, and then there we go. So we have a burning effect technically. So a power of 1, 0 burn duration, so it won't technically light anything on fire. And we need ignis crystals and aversio crystals. Now I have an ignis crystal, I just don't know about an aversio crystal. Now to get a aversio crystal, we should all have to do, since it's considered combat, is toss a diamond sword in here, right? That will assume it up or zoom it, however you want to do it. We take a few of these quartz crystals and then we do this, and that should give us exactly what we want. Yep, that gave us some ignis crystals and some dysterium crystals. Finishing all the water up, getting rid of it all with the last of the crystals, does give us 2 adversio crystals, which is exactly what we were looking for. So I'm starting to understand. So we have our crystals, everything set, start crafting, and boom, that is crafting. Now this is actually one regular experience as well, but luckily we had plenty of levels. So this is counting down. Is that counting down? Boom, it should be crafted. So a fire punch, burn duration seconds 3, power of 5. Now you can't have more of one of these different punches or different flames or whatever it is. You can have more than one of these, I don't know what to call it, essence bubbles, and if you hold F you get to choose which one you do. If once you click one, it actually goes into your gauntlet. Now technically there is a pouch that can hold them because they need to be in your inventory like inventory pets, but with the specific pouch they can also sit in there, which is better than inventory pets because they don't have to directly be in there. Mainly it saves you inventory space. So now that this is active, I do believe if we just look at stuff, and oh yeah, we have a fire thing. How close do you have to get, Cal, before okay, so you have to be like 4 or 5 blocks away, and we can actually just straight up light things on fire. Ooh, you don't look fun. What are you doing here? You take this fire here and boom. Oh yes, that actually works perfectly on you. Oh, I do not like you. What are you? Well, it's a good thing we're getting into magic and stuff now, because clearly we have a lot of things that we need to be dealing with very soon around the house. We are slowly being absorbed and taken over. But now that we have the power of fire, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys all next time, probably to be fighting these guys.